You know what really is shocking is that there's nobody out there that wants to know the truth. Nobody. And that includes the Slater family. They are more interested in talking to the son and that GoFundMe page. Let's not go there. The GoFundMe page is still running, 70 grand and more. When is it going to stop? Let's cut to the chase. What happened is a tragedy. Everybody knows that. Nobody wants to lose a family member in tragic circumstances like Jay Slater. And what he did or what he didn't do remains in the balance. But one thing we do know for sure, he did not die up in the mountains after a wild goose chase with two other men. Let's not kid ourselves. Those two people that he was alleged to be with, they were never in that area. Despite the fact that they were seen by nobody credible, and remember, the lady in the Airbnb didn't have a word of English, and when she was pressed by Jay Slater's mother, she said that she didn't know any of them. Not only that, she reacted and said, according to Debbie, that she was cold. Draw your own conclusions from that, but what do I draw from it? She was either told one of two things, either to keep her mouth shut or nobody was there at all. And all this rubbish about Jay Slater falling into a ravine, total and utter rubbish. Not credible, despite what the coroner has said. And the coroner, just to refresh your memory, has said the following, that the fall was consistent with what happened to Jay. That doesn't mean that he fell into a ravine though. The jury is out in that. And let's not forget our good friends at the Spanish police. Is their evidence credible? I very much doubt it. We researched this for the past 4 weeks, and our sources tell us that the Spanish police are far from credible. In fact, we can go further and say that the Spanish police were more interested in the tourism of Tenerife than they were in getting the person who killed Jay Slater. That is a big statement, but it happens to be true. Our sources tell us that up the greasy pole, the Tenerife police are only interested in one thing and one thing only, that is tourism. And the last thing they needed was the likes of a British teenager going missing and dying in tragic circumstances, regardless of what those circumstances were. Of course, the doubters will say that Jay Slater was a wrong one. We've all heard it. Maybe he was, maybe he wasn't. But one thing is for sure, he didn't deserve to die in these circumstances. And the Slater family, regardless of what you may think of them, deserve justice. They, of course, haven't been singing it off the hymn sheet that they want justice. They have been keeping rather quiet, with the exception of Jay Slater's dad, who has been saying it privately, that he wasn't happy with the outcome of what the Spanish police did. And let's face it, we all agree with that. So where do we go from here? Well, as I said, one thing is for sure. Jay Slater did not die up in the mountains in that Airbnb. The two people that were with him, allegedly, and the owner of that Airbnb simply are not credible. She couldn't speak English, and when she was pressed, she couldn't say whether Jay was there or not. And as regards him going up and down the road, we just can't believe that witness is credible at all. Meanwhile, the two men that were supposed to be there, regardless of what anyone thinks, they certainly weren't there on the night. We can say, for one thing, that Jay Slater did not die anywhere near that area, whether he was walking down a mountain and had a fall and fell into a ravine, is not credible at all. One person holds the key, and one person only. One person can solve this crime, and it was not a fall, and it did not happen in the mountains in Tenerife. It happened elsewhere. People have got to be charged for this, because justice has got to be done for Jay Slater and Jay Slater's family. That is the least they deserve. One person holds the key, and one person is Lucy. She should be spoken to, and the truth should and will come out at some stage. Let us know what you think, because we'd like to hear your view. We've heard all the white noise. We've heard all the media reports, which are totally and utterly wrong. Radio and print have been running with the story, and they are trying to brainwash people and tell them Jay Slater had a fall in the mountains in Tenerife and he died tragically. That is simply not true. And how media can report this is downright a disgrace. Of course, they're not the only ones to be held account. The Spanish police have got their hands dirty too. But one thing is for sure, the people, Jay Slater's family, deserves justice for their son, regardless of what he did or did not do. And one thing he didn't do was fall into a ravine in the mountains. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do like, share and subscribe, and we'll be back with more